Hello, if you want to know the different types of reading that you can get through your life, watch this video because I'm gonna be letting you know more about the different readings you can get decade by decade based on my experience as a professional tarot reader. But before, let me introduce myself. I am Sigel de Ramos, a symbolic tarot reader, and please remember to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram on social media at Weekly Tarot so you can actually keep learning about the tarot cards and receiving the special message the tarot has for you. Now, as my experience with tarot readings, I started reading for others when I in about 2019 and I have done over 1,000 readings so far. And I noticed a pattern when it comes to the different readings that I could get to people depending on their age. So this video is based on my personal experience and I think it's actually very accurate, but you are the one to let me know. So drop a comment after you watch this video, letting me know if it makes sense to you and if the readings that the card are bringing to you based on your age are actually going according to what I have actually studied and what I have actually, made my mind. But well, the first, when you are in your late 20s, I pull the Page of Cups representing the late teens years because when it comes to that age, tarot readings seems to be a lot of self-discovering. They bring a lot of messages for you to discover yourself, to, helping you find yourself, discover all your qualities, discovering all your power, and it brings a lot of enlightenment. It brings a lot of uh, self-awareness when you are in your late teens, usually 18 and 19, because I don't do readings for people uh, underage. So they usually bring that message about discovering yourself, about, you know, learning who you are, connecting with your intuition, because you are just entering into adulthood, you are just entering into life, and you're gonna need like all the knowledge of yourself to actually be able to overcome all the situations and obstacles that you might actually have to face in the future. Now, for people in their 20s, tarot cards usually bring message about the future and about all the goals and dreams that they have. So, getting a tarot reading in your 20s can actually be very confusing because most of the times all the readings speak on future term. Because when you are in your 20s, you're actually always thinking about all the things that you can get in the future, the life that you desire to have, and the tarot cards will actually help you attain that life. But of course, sometimes this message might not make any sense because you'll be getting actually those messages too early in life. I actually have another video on my channel in which what to do about when a tarot reading doesn't bring any value to you, because that happened to me a lot when I was in my 20s. I would actually get readings about the future that won't make sense until later on in life, which actually makes sense. I was having the message before the conditions were met for me to be able to understand it. So in your 20s, you usually get a lot of message about your future, about what's coming to you, and a lot of guidance about what to do or what actions to take in order to fulfill your dreams. So it's very reassuring, and it's actually it brings a lot of guidance when you get a tarot readings in your 20s. Now, when you hit your 30s is when things get really nice, because I put the temperance for representing this decade. Because when you hit your 30s, tarot messages are usually very reassurance. They actually let you know that if you're on the right path, that you are on the right path, and it brings a lot of reassurance, and it focuses a lot on finding your balance, on finding your uh, patience, your serenity, your calmness, and to affront and confront life with those qualities. Because after you hit your 30s, by this time, we usually have a clear vision of what we want, and we can actually see it here on the path. That's why I choose this card to represent this decade, and we just have to follow the plans that we have, the course of action that we have set for our life, and it brings a lot of reassurance on your path and balance and harmony. But of course, if you're not on the right path, the tarot cards on your titties will bring a lot of raw messages for you finding the right path and start getting into the right directions. So it's really cool. Now, When you get into your 40s is when things start getting fun, because the cards will have like a radical twist when it comes to the message that it brings. Because when you hit your 40s, the cards will be pushing you to actually go and live your life, to go try new things, to go and do all the things that you want to do but you haven't done, because you were either too focused on your goals, because you were too scared of what other people will say. So when you hit your 40s, the tarot cards will always reinforce you and motivate you to actually go wild if you want to go wild, to go do that, to get that tattoo, to actually, go skinny dipping if you want to, because life is actually going to go on the cliff in the future decades. So it's important for you to fulfill and to be happy with yourself, to try all the things that you want to try, and to just feel fulfilled in life. And that's why I choose to start, because of the reference of going skinny dipping if you want to skinny dip, because you're in your 40s, you are not getting any younger. You actually have to go out and do all the things that you want to do, because eventually you won't be able to do it. And that's usually the message that I get for my clients when they're in their 40s with the tarot cards. Now, moving on to the 50s, I noticed that as we age and we hit the big 5 zeros, the cards bring a message of healing, bring a message of closure. It's like when we hit that age, the cards want you to actually leave all the pain and all the struggles and all the burdens and grudges in the past, and to just heal, so you can be able to renew yourself, to be reborn, and to enjoy the last years of your life that you have ahead of you, so you don't actually carry with all that burden through your whole life. And it brings a lot of closure and a lot of healing. So it's really beautiful when I get clients on their 50s. It's not very usual though. Most of my clients are usually in their 20s and 30s, but the few clients in the 50s that I've had, it's all about healing and being able to leave everything behind in order to enjoy life now, and to be able to enjoy what is left of life for you. Now, moving to the 60s is really interesting, and I actually have more clients on the 60s than on the 50s. I actually keep track of that. And in the 60s, the message that the cards had for you is usually very empowering. It's usually very, the cards want you to embrace and to acknowledge like all your life and all the wisdom and all the experience that you had, to actually go and finish the little things on your bucket list, and to just feel happy and embrace your power and all the growth that you've done in your life. It's all about being mature. It's all about being, intelligent, wise, experienced, and own that, and probably use that to help others, or use that to help yourself and enjoy the last years of your life. Because by the time you hit your 70s, the tarot cards will have another drastic turn when it comes to a message, because it will usually bring messages that are very reminiscent of the past. It usually, for the few people that I had on my life as a tarot reader in their 70s, usually bring a lot of messages about their life, but the past experience, all the good events that they lived through, all the good things that they went through in their youth, and all the things that made your life at the age of 70 worth of living. And it's really beautiful, because I have clients telling me that that message reminded them of how beautiful their life was, and how they are willing to continue living, because they still have the hopes that things will keep getting better. And now, for people in the 80s, unfortunately, I haven't had any clients that is over 80 years old. The oldest clients that I had was 75, or is 75. I don't know how old that person is now. But in the 80s, I have the idea that the readings, the message that the cards will have for you is going to be all about accepting life and death. It's all about how to move forward to the next realm and to the next steps. I'm sure it's going to bring a lot of insights about accepting life, accepting death, and accepting that unfortunately we all have to die eventually, and that it might prepare you for what is next, and for you know, death. That's what I choose this card to represent, that decade, because I think it will be just literally speaking. But of course, we have to remember that even though this is the average that I've seen on the over 1,000 readings that I made, uh, we all have different timings in our life. Some people is more mature than others. Some people lifespan is actually different from others. So you can actually get like a mix and match from all the different decades, depending on your situation, depending on your maturity, depending on how you are living your life. Because at the end of the day, the message that you're gonna receive from the cards is the message that you need to hear, and that's what matters. This is just like an average, um, let's say, conclusion that I came up with because of my experience, but it's not strictly like that. So it doesn't mean that when you are in your 20s, you're only going to receive message about your future. You're going to actually receive message about your past. You're going to actually receive message about, finding the right path, or about trying new things, because it's all about what you're going through in life, and not, and well, the cards are very flexible with that, and nothing is like fixed on a stone when it comes to the cards. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about this theory that I have, and if it makes any sense to you or not, because I'm really interested, as this is something completely new that I'm coming up with. So I'll be really glad and happy if you drop some comments about this theory and what do you think about it. But that's it for today, and remember that if you like a personal reading from me, you can always book a session on my social media. Send me a DM so I can send you a link to book a session with me and discover what's the message that tarot cards had for you. I'm Sigel de Ramos, a symbolic tarot reader. I know that I'm always going to be sending you lots of love and light, and until the next time. Bye bye.